This is the SSIS learning module, and in this video we will create our first package, and in the last video we have created our first project. And in this first project, this is the control flow part. Control flow is the brain of the SSIS. It's controlling the flow of the tasks, and these are the tasks available in the control flow. And this is the most usable task, execute SQL task. This task we can use to execute any SQL statement. So I will use first this task to check the connection with the database. So before moving to the next task, we will first validate, we will first verify that the connection with the database is okay or not. Then we can use this task, and this is if you will right click, and there the properties of this task are coming, and we can write the name of this task, for what purpose we are going to use. I'm going to use to validate the connection. So I have written this some meaningful name, and here I will create the connection. And this is, I will use the here the connection type. There are different available connection types are available: Excel, OLEDB, ODBC, ADO. So I am going to use OLEDB, and I will create the connection with my database from where I need to extract the data. This is already one connection I have created. If I need to create the new connection, I can click the new button, and this is the Windows scheme where we have to select what is the server name which we want to connect. So when I will refresh, all the server names available in this network will come here. So I need to connect with this one, and I have to select my particular database, this trading DB, and I will test the connection. Connection is successful. So this is the connection which we will validate the my database. So I'm using some table just to verify that this connection is okay. We can write the here the SQL statements, or we can click here and we can write in this editor. So I'm going to just check the connection that this is working fine or not. So I'm using this query, and query syntax, if I need to verify, I can use this one. I can click the bypass pair is equal to false, and I can check the syntax of my query. So it's parsed correctly, and this is the okay. So this task will be used to verify the connection with the database is working properly or not. And this is my first task which I designed in this control flow, and this is the task precedence controls, which we can use to direct the execution order, and this precedence constraints we will set the values for this one when we will use the another task. And we can execute this task by clicking on the this execute task button, or if there are more than one task and we want to execute all the tasks, then we can click the F5 or this button. So first I will execute this task to verify. So this task is going to be executed, and it is successful. It means everything is working fine, database and the table. So now I will go to the core part of the SSIS, which is a data flow task. Data flow task is the very important task. We can say this is the heart of the SSIS because most of the time we have to spend in this task. And this is the task where the important part of the SSIS is done, which is the ETL process. So if this that connection with the database is okay, then we will go to this task, this data flow task, where we will do the ETL process. So we have to write the proper headings for each task. So now this is the precedence constraints which have some certain values. We can find these values here. When this first task will be successful, then only the next task will have to execute. So this is the value I have selected. It's by default this is value is selected. If this value is selected, then the color of this arrow will be the green. If I will select this value, then it means that this when this task will be failed, then only the next task will be executed, and the color of this precedence constant is now red. Or I can select this value as well, that either this first task will be failed or successful. In either case, the next task will be executed on completion of the first task. But right now my requirement is to, if the connection with the database is successful, then only to go to this data flow task. So, and if it is failed, I will use another task. I will use the another this control for flow task, which is I will use the script task to display the message that the connection with the database is failed. So I will use and I will set the value for this task is failure. If this failed, then execute this task, and I can script this task. This script task is used to write our own script by using the Visual Studio. So I can write my script by clicking edit, and I can use the variables in this task, but right now I will use very basics to just display the message. So I will click the edit script task and it will open the Visual Studio where I can write my code. So to design the script task, this Visual Studio is open and I have to write my code here. So I will write here to display only the message that the connection is not successful. So just I will display this message and I will save the. So I just write the message there and I will press the OK button, and then I will execute this task, and if it is failed, then it will display the message. Now I will execute again this control flow, and right now I will press this button. If the database connection is successful, then this will be executed ETL process. If it is failed, then the expression script task will be executed. So now right now the database connection is successful, everything is there is successful, so the ETL task will be executed. If it is failed, this will be executed. Now we'll make the connection to fail, and I will change in the syntax or something so that it will this task execution failed. I will write some syntax error for a table name wrong, and then we will execute again this task and we will see if the message is coming or not in case of the failure. So now the task is failed. This part is executed, and this is the message which I have written using this script task. So this task is executed, and this is coming the failure. So this way the control, we can use the control flow to control the tasks. And now if we will see the other values of these precedence constraints, how to implement those values. I need to correct the table name. Oh, now I will design another task to check the value of this precedence constraint. And I will execute another task, and in this task, if I will see if this task is completed, then only to execute this task. Suppose I will write in this task that if this task is completed, this data flow task, then update the some status in the source database. So this task will be used to update the some statuses. When this task will be completed, I have to clear the data in my source table. And this is only just for understanding. We have to design our own package according to our requirements. But I will use this same connection. This is the connection with our source database, and I will write here the some statement to when the task is completed, I have to clear the table, and I can check the syntax of my query is correct or not. Yeah, it's correct. Executed. So when this task will be completed successfully, then only clear the table, or I can select the precedence value that when this task will be completed in either successful or either failure, this table should be cleared. So we have to design according to our own requirements, and when this task will be completed, then we will perform another task, and we will see what we will do in that task. We will check the the values. So if this task is completed, until now we have used only these three values: success, failure, and completion. We have more options in these precedence constraints that we are not using the constraints. We have to we can write our own expression that then this task should be completed if the package is executed on the weekdays, on the weekends. So I can write here one code in this expression that if the package is executed on weekend, Saturday, Sunday, then the task should have to do some special executions. So this my requirement, and I can use this date part. I can write here the weekday, a weekday, and to check from this date if the weekday is 6, I can evaluate expression is okay or not. There is some syntax problem, so this I have to write here the codes. Now if I will evaluate expression, it is giving true. So I can use now the expression instead of constants, and I can evaluate the next on the behalf of this expression value. So if the expression value is true, then it means this task is executed on the weekend, on holiday, and then it should have to do this work. And what I will write for the, suppose I will want to update some special table status. We have to use the proper headings so that it should be clear, and I can design accordingly that the table status should be updated. And I will use the same connection, and here I will write my SQL statement. I can write here that this is my table name, update the status C where the status is O. So let's see this one. So now I use the expression if this task is executed, this package is executed on the weekend, and then this the stable status should be updated. So we can design like this our package. Now if I will execute, so let's see what will be executed. We'll see how is the flow. The whole package is executed, and so this connection is successful. After connection, the ETL process is done. We did not design the ETL process, so it's successful, it's empty. And when it's successful, and we have right then after completion of this one, clear the table, and after that, if this task is executed, then update this table status. And this table status from the expression, it will check the day of the week, and then accordingly it will update the status. So this is the control flow, and we can design the control flow according to our requirements, and we know how to what are the we can use in this control flow, and how to set the precedence constraints to control the tasks.